So real quick, working on the 95 F250 7.3 diesel, and gonna be replacing glow plugs today. Pretty standard procedure, and I'm gonna try to tackle the wiring harnesses as well. So first step would be to disconnect the batteries. I've heard people say it doesn't really matter, but I'm just gonna do that for safety. Next step, I'm gonna pop off the cold air intake here, pop off this here. It's just hose clamp right there, and a couple hose clamps right there, and that'll allow me to get to the bolts that are on the cover panel here, and then we should be able to see injector heads right through here and get to those glow plugs. So pretty quick, well, hopefully pretty quick, and fairly straightforward. So see how it goes. So disconnected the battery, got the air filter out of there, got the connector tube out of there just by a hose clamp. Now working on this, there's just a little standoff right there, and gotta crack the bolts on that and just take that off, and then undo a few more hose clamps, and we'll be ready to access that front panel. So I got the rest of that intake tube off there. You see the turbo right there, and now it just remains to start attacking these bolts right here and get this cover panel off. Hopefully it'll focus a little bit better. Maybe there we go. There we go. So that cover plate's next. So quick note, this guy right here has to come off, given that screw and that screw to access the bolt that's right behind it on the cover panel. So I got to pop that off there. Just an extra step, nothing too big. So a couple of these are in fact studs, and a couple of these are in fact bolts. So you can see there are some are nuts, some have nuts, and some have the bolts on them. The bolts go in, a couple bolts in the bottom. Maybe I can move this over here. Kind of see that there. There's one right in the middle there. You can see that one's a bolt. But then on top here you got a stud, basically, or a reverse bolt. Let's see if I can get it to focus. Because that's where that L bracket post was right here that supported the intake manifold tube here, a cold air intake assembly. So from there, this guy also had to come off, and that led up into the intake for the turbo, which I'd have to look it up. I don't really know too much about how it works, but I mean, that just takes a little bit of the oil and makes like, I would imagine it makes like an aerosol right there in the cold air intake right into the turbo, just to kind of prime it, just based on from what I do know about how some of that works. But yeah, there's a turbo, and so now I've got to disconnect the wiring harness. I got this other little guy right over there that's still nasty. Man, there's all kinds of nasty up in here. I don't know what this was, but there was some dust and gunk, because somewhere wherever this sat, there must have been a lot of dust at one point, and some fine grit come down through here. So that might actually be like in here what's playing with the wiring harness, which is causing some of my check engine light stuff to happen right now. I haven't tested it with the code checker or anything, but it certainly behaves as though the glow plugs are not doing so great. So that's why I elected to replace the glow plugs, since I have no idea how long these glow plugs have been in here. So there's that one, and I'm going to try to replace this one today, this wiring harness gasket, valve cover gasket, and there's the other connection over there, and they are, from what I have been able to ascertain, they are identical. So, you know, I bought two of them and should be able to do the other one on the other side opposite of this guy. There's your fuel filter. It's on the other side over here. So yeah, it's getting there, piece at a time. So got down in there, looks like got to the injectors, loosened up the glow plugs. Haven't pulled the glow plugs yet, but see if I can get up here. But I go to pull off the valve gasket cover, and but yeah, did I get it to focus? Yeah, that right there, that might be a problem. Probably after it, yeah, that right there, see that? Yeah, that's probably a problem. so that'll have to get replaced at some point. Maybe not today, I don't know, we'll see. So anyway, now it just remains to replace the glow plugs and the valve gasket cover and put it all back together. So these are the old glow plugs. They nasty. This is what they should look like. So I'd say probably, come on, focus, focus, focus. Karate Kid, focus, come on, there you go. So I'd say that it'd probably be a noticeable performance increase even after just putting in these new ones on this side along with the wiring harness. Here's the old one, all that nastiness there, and the new one. And hopefully this new one will be the fit that I need. And if not, just put the old one back and find a better one. So, got the glow plugs in there, got the new wiring harness on there, and it actually fit like a charm. I am really super happy that actually fit in there like that. For now I'm just going to go ahead and I plugged in the connectors, and at some point maybe I'll replace the connectors. I do have the parts for that, but not today. So hopefully this will be an improvement enough to do a little better on the ride and take care of my check engine light, at least for now. Hopefully my butt's not too dirty from all this. Nice towel. Towel works wonders. It's the most important thing in the universe. Well, hopefully the gauges kind of come through. There we go, kind of focus a little bit. So if I power it on, I'm gonna wait to start going on. Nope, don't want that. Give it a minute. Just prime the fuel pump just because I'm a little goofy. Say a quick prayer. Gauges look good. That sounded better. Sounded a hell lot better than it was. Gauges still look good. Not too cold. Pressure's good. Yeah. Sounds a hell lot better. So, peace.